what's up, guys? It's your boy Gio on the Gio Jackson Show. Today we got another special guest. I got my boy.
What's up? My name is Jaime.
So Jaime, how was your day today?
It was good. It was a busy day at work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how's been your week? How's it been the new year?
New Year was good. I was with family in LA, just catching up and just I haven't seen them in a while too. So it was good to see them. And, and I went by myself actually to LA. The plan was to go with my mom. And obviously like it didn't work out. So, I had to still go and, it was fun just seeing everybody.
Cool. Yeah. Your brother, what I know is your brother is Carlos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how's Carlos?
It's good. Already with this second kid.
Damn. Yeah. Shout out Carlos. He was always, he was a good defender. I played with him in Sequoia. Good guy. Shout out him, his family. But Jaime, obviously, you're on the podcast, the Gio Jackson podcast. Everyone, is talked about worldwide.
Yeah.
But no, introduce yourself. So like, what are you all about? Like right now, you recently graduated, right?
Yeah.
A year ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about like what's been going on, that transition from university now to, real world, like adult life.
Yeah. So obviously like after high school, I had to decide what I wanted to do after. And for me, it was obviously like going to school, continuing. And like during the junior year and senior year, it was kind of just like applying to schools and like and like seeing where I'm be able to fit in. And it was hard because like I know that I couldn't do it by myself, so I had to talk to my teachers and counselors at high school. And I went to Sequoia. I don't know if you went there too or
no. I went to Sequoia. I graduated 2011.
Oh man, I just graduated 2017.
That make me feel old. But no. You just but for me, damn, it's been like 13, 12 years since I graduated. But I'm sure the experience was similar. So junior year, were you like in any programs, Avid or anything like that?
Yeah, I did EA Academy. So I was with Miss Bannister, Miss Henderson.
Okay. So you go to senior year, right? You graduate, and right away you go to a college, right?
Yeah, I went to 4 years. So as soon as I finished like my senior year at Sequoia, like I applied already like to all the schools, the universities. All I had to do was just kind of just wait, the waiting game, see which school called me up first. And at first it was Dominguez Hills that called me up first. I got a package from the house. Like my mom told me like, hey, like you got this big package. Like it has like the DH like initials. So I knew it was a school. And like when I opened it, it was nice. Like it was kind of like, oh, like you've been accepted. It was nice.
Right. Yeah, it feels good.
It feels good, yeah. But it wasn't like the final decision yet because I was still waiting on my other schools to apply, like Sonoma State, like San Jose State, and SF State. So I was just kind of still waiting to see, like what schools will still want me to be in. Obviously, like I didn't want to go too far because I feel like I was just gonna get homesick easily. But Bakersfield was like another one that called me up. Like that was the second one that I got the package from the house, and obviously like it's the most cheapest one that I applied from all the schools.
Right.
And I was telling my mom, like, hey, like, I think this is the right fit, like, and she asked me, like, oh, like, has anybody of your friends, like, applied to that same school? And I told her, like, no, like, it's just, like, me. And, like, I was kind of nervous about it, too, because, like, obviously, like, I won't see my friends going there. So it's just have to, like, me adapting to a new place, new environment, like, building new friends. So it was kind of, like, it was pretty scary at first, like, and then, like, when that happened, it was just, like, like, having like to talk with my mom and family, like, oh, like spending a few days before like moving day and stuff. And it was scary because like I went by myself actually, and like I didn't have anyone to talk to like with me, like just my parents on the way. And like,
did you sorry to cut you off?
Yeah.
Did you live that first year dorms, or was it like you and like a roommate or by yourself? How did that work?
So the first 2 years, I would live on campus. So I had it was a triple room. So it was like with two other roommates.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was.
So you each had your own room?
No, we shared a room. Yeah.
So triple room. So two in each room?
It was like one room and 3 beds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we had we shared a bathroom and stuff like that.
Got it. Okay. And how was your like? Were they cool? Did you build a relationship, or was it a little bit hard for you to, open up a little bit?
Yeah, at first it was because like obviously like they're not from the same city from us. Like I'm from Rover City, so they were like from Vallejo or Fresno or like just somewhere like in more like
different culture too.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But they were like the same race ethnicity as me.
Okay.
So it was kind of like not super hard to like fit in and like build like a relation, like a conversation.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool too because like at first I thought I didn't know who was gonna be my roommates. It was just kind of like me having to find out for myself.
Yeah, you kind of like I went to Sonoma State, but only 1 year.
Yeah,
and you for me, I'll share my. I think I've shared it before, but so for me, I got accepted to Sonoma State.
Yeah.
The reason I went, a bunch of my friends were going. Jaime, shout out Tanque, from my other show. My boy Sam, a bunch of people from Sequoia went there.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know what happened. I think I missed the deadline to apply for housing. So when I got accepted to Sonoma, I didn't have housing. So I didn't know where I was going to stay. It was pretty nerve wracking because obviously, I'm sure you know, I had FAFSA, but I didn't have scholarship. It was pretty expensive if I would have got like an apartment to myself. You know, 18 years old, my family probably wouldn't be able to help me out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I kind of just said, F it, I'm just gonna go. So I went, but good thing my boy Sam, shout out Sam. He had. So in Sonoma, you went to Sonoma, right? So he lived in Zinfandel.
Okay.
But it was the dorms where you share a bathroom and you have your own room, and then the other person has another room.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So for the first like week and a half, 2 weeks, I slept on his floor with him.
Okay.
So it was cool.
Yeah.
But obviously the people, what do you call the RAs?
Yeah.
They were cool about. We had a cool one, so she was cool about it.
Yeah.
But eventually, like 2 weeks in, I got my dorm.
Yeah.
And it was the dorms also in Zinfandel.
Yeah.
9 people. And like to this day, like one of them is still like a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And it's been forever.
Yeah.
Shout out Daniel.
Yeah.
But I could understand, meaning because like I said, I was used with my boy Sam, Sequoia, and then I'm moving in with 9 people I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was like different races, different beliefs. But at the end of it, like I said, I only did 1 year. People that did 4 years, like you probably experienced more. But that 1 year was great. Like it was just good, like being around different people.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's just like it's scary at first. You kind of just don't know what to talk about first. You get to meet them and like talk about like your background, like where you're from, this and that. But I feel like as time goes on, like you start to feel comfortable with them, and they become comfortable with you, and you guys just become like best friends and stuff,
Right. Or, not best friends sometimes, but just acquaintances or like, you have each other's back. So obviously you're living with someone.
Yeah, exactly.
And you also, another thing is you learn like you gotta clean, you gotta like make sure, like for example, you guys share the bathroom,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you leave it clean, and because there is cases, sometimes roommates they're gross, sometimes they don't clean, they're not used to cleaning.
Yeah.
So you have to get that around. But so you go to Bakersfield, but then you leave, right?
Yeah, I leave. It was just a struggle, too expensive. Talking to my mom, and like I told her like I want to be back, but obviously like I still want to go to school. So my option was like going to community as soon as I went back, and she said it's fine. Like as long as you know what you're doing, just stick to it. And so I went back. I went to Kenyatta after like I left Bakersfield, and I did 2 years at Bakersfield. And obviously like my goal is just to like make sure I pass all my classes, because obviously like you don't want to retake classes and like go over like the units and all that. So I did my part at Bakersfield. Like it was just too expensive. So when I went to Kenyatta, like,
so sorry to cut. Did you have like scholarships, FAFSA?
I had FAFSA, but it didn't cover for partial. Like it didn't cover for my housing, and so it was just covered for the school. But still, it was like even like with housing, like if I were to like keep going at Bakersfield, like I have to like reapply for housing, and it was like just too much. Yeah.
Okay. So you go to Kenyatta. I think I was in one of your classes, English class.
Yeah.
Because I went to Kenyatta for a little bit, but for me, like I don't know, school wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But I remember, I think you were in one of the English classes. I remember it was pretty hard class.
Did you have to do an essay at the end, the final?
Yeah, like the 10 pages or something.
Oh yeah, I think I just didn't see you.
Yeah, well,
I dropped oh, I see.
That's why you did. When she said 10 pages, I'm out. I'll take the.
You just said I'm out.
I'm out. So yeah, I went like for me like with school. I went like I was in and out. Like I went to Kenyatta, left, came back. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and then eventually, like I said, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But so after that, let's fast forward. Graduate. You go to Sonoma too.
Yeah.
Obviously, myself, I went to Sonoma. Like I said, not long, but How did you like Sonoma State?
Sonoma was amazing. I mean, it was just like not too far and not too close.
Right.
And obviously, when I was at Bakersfield, I didn't have a car yet, and I just got my car like 2021. So by that time, I was already like before going to Sonoma. So it was like I had a car ready to go, and like if I wanted to go visit family, like I had my transportation.
Right.
But like the atmosphere there was amazing. Like there was so much to do than at Bakersfield, because at Bakersfield there wasn't really that much.
Right.
Like you needed to have a car to move around, and that for me, like now that I like gratefully I had that like car now, is like I'm able to move around like where I need to go. Like I can now be able to go like shopping and like, or just grocery shopping, just get stuff that I needed for the dorms and stuff. But like everyone was just like amazing. Like I met good people, like people from like Rebel City, so it was pretty cool. Like it was just easier to connect. And
did you live at the Tuscany dorms, or did you live off campus?
I lived at Tuscany at first, because I was only at Sonoma for 2 years. So at Tuscany at first year, and then Zinfandel, like you mentioned, that was my last year there.
Oh, they put you on Zinfandel?
Yeah, Zinfandel last year. Yeah.
I thought only the freshmen lived there.
I thought that too, but I think since I'm a transfer student, I think they placed me there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you probably had a bunch of freshmen, right?
Like sophomores and juniors, yeah, a few of them, yeah.
Because I remember Tuscany is like the upperclassmen dorms.
Yeah.
They were nice.
Yeah.
So now you graduate. Obviously, congratulations last year, right?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, in May, yeah.
What was your major?
Major was Chicano Latino Studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now you're in the real world.
Yeah.
How has that, how is that going for you?
It's
going. Because I know it could be a little. You graduate college, right?
Yeah.
And we're always told that you graduate, then you get the job, you get the house, you get the wife, everything's good.
Yeah.
How's that been going?
I'm gonna say graduating to be the first one from the family is amazing.
Right.
Obviously, like that's something that you kind of always dreamed of as a young age. Like you would expect sometimes like your siblings or like anybody like from your family to graduate. And like I have cousins that graduated too, and it was just like from my own family. I like it was like, all right, like I want to be the first one. Like I've worked in so hard since I was young to like go to school. It's like I want to just make sure like I did something right and like make sure make my parents proud, because obviously they look up to you, and like, and it's just like, you know, like you have your friends and you like everybody else supporting you, but like it's not the same as your parents. You know, it's just different. But I mean, graduating it's like. I feel like just time goes just so fast. Like I'm pretty sure when you were at Sonoma, like your year went like that, right? Like when you were there. So it was like, yeah, like I was just there for 2 years, but it just went fast. Like, and I built great friends and like got connections with like my counselors and teachers, and like I felt like when I graduated, it was just like, damn, like it's done. Like, you know, like I was here for a short time, but like you once you graduate, like you're told that like, oh, you have to have a job right away, like you have to have your life figured out. But like for me, it was just like I have to figure it out, because like obviously like there was so many jobs to like look for, and it was just like for me to have like a decision to like see like what fits right for me. And like obviously like I'm not alone. I wasn't alone. Like to think about it, like I had like my teachers and counselors. They were like, all right, like this is what you got to do. And like for me, like I obviously like wanted to be like I think I told you earlier, like I wanted to be like a fitness trainer.
Right.
And obviously like when I was at Kenyatta, like they told me like, all right, like this is the major, like kinesiology, but just know that you have to take like certain science classes.
Right.
And for me, like I was like, man, like I didn't know about that, like because the some class that I took, it wasn't like that pretty hard. It was pretty like straightforward, like just like about like, you know, like
right,
health.
you got to take like the chemistries and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's like just like super hard. Like, and then like when I was in Sonoma, like they asked me like, oh, like what major do you like want to be in? And they gave me like variety of like options, and Chicano Latino Studies was like a very like common like major that I wanted to like look into, because like a lot of like Hispanics, Latinos are like we're into that, and I see myself in that, because it was like, you know, it's like you build a community like with the people that I apply with, and I like the way they like kind of like set me up that major, it was like very welcoming. Like they kind of run me through like who's like you have your own like advisor to talk to, and it was like pretty cool. And like obviously like when there's a final project, like when you stick through it, like when you're a senior, like you have to do like this project, and you have to like stick with your major, and like they'll help you out, and that was pretty amazing. Like
right. And one thing about, you know, Latinos, Mexicans is they're always like watch out for their own people.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they're always like looking out, making sure, if you winning, we're all winning.
Yeah, exactly.
So right now you work at a school, right?
Yeah, working at school right now. I am doing like PE plus, as you could say. Like, so it's PE with the kids, and I do after school program as well.
Okay.
So I work with the same kids. It's like the whole day. So it's
Right.
pretty nice. It's like 2 jobs, but it fits into like one.
Right.
So I'm there like the whole day. So that's
Okay.
Yeah.
And how have you? Was that something that when you graduate you were planning to do, or was it kind of like, you know, I need whatever I got just to get my foot in the door?
Yeah. Now for me, I didn't even know like that I was gonna be a teacher. It was just something that like I was thinking about like after months has passed by, like deciding what I wanted to do. Obviously like when you play soccer, like, you know, you want to be like playing with the team and this and that, like, and then, or even like training, like you want to like work with kids and stuff, like just
Right.
work with people. And like for me, like I had friends already that like been teachers and like work with kids, and like, and I would ask them like, oh, how is it, like, you know, like is it that easy or is it that hard? Like what's something that you like doing? And they kind of like ran me through like, oh, like, you know, like when you work with them, it's like you have to really like be cautious like what you're doing, and like obviously like build a strong relationship with them, because obviously you want to be like not just a role model, but just be someone that you could be with them like physically and mentally. And like for me, like it's like I have fun with them. Like I'm not really like stressed too much about them. Like sometimes like it's like when you work with them, it's not really like a job. It's kind of more just like a hobby. It's like,
Right, like they're like little brothers.
yeah,
little
exactly.
sisters.
Yeah. So like it's
Okay.
like you, yeah, and then like when they play sports with you, it's just like, you know, it's pretty fun. Like, you know, you're interacting with them, and it's just like, you know, it's just that community that you build with them at the end of the day.
Got it. So what's we're gonna jump in, I guess. One of the topics, right? Goals, right?
Yeah.
That's the new year.
Yeah.
Everyone's always talks about New Year's resolutions. For you right now, what is your like goal, like career wise? Like, what's your next steps?
My next steps, I would probably say just, I mean, I have a lot, but I'm just, the main one that I really want to accomplish this year is just getting like that sub credential, just to work like higher up, I guess you could say. Like,
And then, so for people that don't know, what is a sub credential?
sub credential is basically just kind of like, it's like a certificate / permit, I guess you could say, that makes you classify to like work at the district. You know, like if, for example, like once you have that, you're eligible to just be able to work at like at a school, like whatever city, like district and stuff. So that's my goal, just because like obviously like if I want to be a teacher, that's something that you are required to have.
Got it.
And a lot of jobs, like especially like teaching, like they're gonna ask you for that, and obviously like it takes a lot of like work into that. Like you have to take certain tests. I think if you heard about like the C test, like it's like those tests, yeah.
And like with this credential, you could be like what kind of teacher?
Like you could be like a math, English teacher
For like what like elementary?
Elementary, yeah, mainly elementary. Yeah.
Elementary school.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how's that going? How do you prep? Like, what are the steps you're taking to do that?
So right now it's just cause like I'm barely like having like this is my first year having like experience with kids. So I'm just starting, like I just graduated. So like obviously like I still need to like have that more experience of working with kids, and it's like, what do I say, like it's just a test that you gotta do while you're working with kids.
Okay.
And obviously like they give you a certain amount of tries to like, it's kind of like if you're taking like a driving test or like a permit test.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that.
Like someone supervising
Yeah,
how
exactly.
you're doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. But this is the job that I have right now with the P plus. Like it works along with that, because obviously like I'm not the only one that works in that, like that has graduated and like wants to do that cert credential too. So it's like you work with somebody and like you kind of like talk with them about it, like, hey, like we should study and like, you know, work on it, because obviously like that's the goal that I have right now in this year, is just like having that there to like, you know, like at least for me to like, you know, be like, oh, I got this now, that I can now be able to like work at a higher status, I guess you could say.
Right.
But obviously like it's still scary, just because like, you know, this is something new to me. Like obviously like I never would have thought like I'm gonna do like a sub credential, like that was like not even the plan, like
right.
Yeah. But I feel like I got the support like all around, so like my family and friends. So it's just like, as long as I just stick to the plan, like, you know, like I think I got it. Like it's just like obviously like it's, you don't know exactly when will it happen. It's just like as long as you just stick to the grind, like, you know, just time will tell. You just gotta keep going. Yeah.
No, well, all the best of luck on that.
Yeah.
So now, what, like I was talking,
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions,
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, are you a believer in that?
Oh.
Are you more of like, I'm not a, like, for me, for example, New Year's goals, right? You come New Year's,
Yeah.
I want to go to the gym, lose
Yeah.
weight, I want to stop drinking, whatever. I feel like if you implement it more as like just your lifestyle instead of like waiting for January
Yeah.
and just let's say down the year, right? It's
Yeah.
May and you're like, I don't have anything. We'll start in May,
Yeah.
like make it your lifestyle. But what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like for me, it's just like, I mean, I hear all the time, like, right? People say new year, new me.
Right.
But for me, it's just like, it's like every year, I'm going to still be me regardless. Like the way I am. I have a good friend of mine just told me that like they love the goofy side of me, the happy side, the one that smiles a lot. I think just my character itself, like, I obviously like you have to start liking yourself before like people will like you.
Right.
And obviously like I don't really like to change. Like there's nothing for me to change. Like I feel like every year you'll still see the same version as me. But I feel like with goals wise, like I feel like just don't be afraid to start. Like if you feel like if you have something like you want it, like if you tell right now like it's what January 10th. And you say like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go to the gym, like I say, like just start going like as soon as you start saying like
right.
I feel like you just gotta do it. Like I know there's a lot of people like to talk about it, and like I feel like just don't even talk about it that much, just do it, just go straight to it. Like like set a routine, because I have a good friend of mine, like we worked out, like sometimes we go in at 5 a.m. and we've been doing this for like it's hard. Like I know I tell him it's just like like it's something new too, like for both of us. But we've been consistent with it, and I feel like you just have to have that goal, like be disciplined with yourself, and just like don't be afraid. Like if you miss a day, like it's not the end of the world. Like obviously just get back up and continue going. But like if you have to really set up a goal, like just stick to it. Like I know it'll be hard, like in a few days, like you but like damn, like there'll be times where you want to give up and like you feel like this ain't it for me. But I feel like you just gotta stick to it. Like even if it's like just by yourself, like just have somebody to talk to you, like to motivate you,
Right.
like because I know maybe you might have gone through that or
no. So with me, I've been up and down with the fitness. We're talking fitness journey. So right now for like the past 5 years, I've been on and off with drinking. So right now, currently, I don't drink. It's been 2 years.
Yeah. Wow.
But what I guess what substituted that was I used to work out hard. Like I would run 5-6 miles a day, 10 miles. One day I was like, I want to see how much it feels to run 12.
Yeah.
And I got into running, the gym, and then life happens, COVID happens. I kind of got lazy. I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And I just been on and off with it. Right now, obviously, starting the new year, I didn't set myself like, all right, new year, gym, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I just want to do it. Like, I'm not going to say it's for New Year's. I just want to do it for me.
Yeah.
To get back on that thing. So right now, I've been working out every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back, fit, starting obviously lose a pancita.
Yeah.
But, and it's just another motivation of mine. And what you were saying, right, is people. If you have the right people around you, they motivate you and they keep you accountable as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I got my boy Pepis.
Yeah.
I go to the gym with him.
Yeah.
It's always like gym, and it's like, am I gonna tell him, bro, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, yeah, what time?
Yeah.
And also shout out to my girlfriend. She recently started working out hard.
Nice.
She used to do a lot of like walking the dogs. She actually like got in this group of like a trainer. She got a trainer, and she's been putting in the work. Obviously, you see that.
Yeah.
You got a partner that sees that. You're like, I got to do it too. I don't want
course,
to be left out.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna be looking good, and I need to start looking good.
Yeah.
So that's been the motivation for me, and trying to eat better too. Because for me, I can work out.
Yeah.
It's the eating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
That
it's
is tough. Yeah.
You got the tacos or I guess something. That's what's tough. But like you said, if you got the right people around you, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. And I was thinking when you said about like, it's never too late to start. I feel like now there's people like that are like even starting today, like they want to make a change for themselves. And like I feel like, like as long as you just stick to it, like you just do what you got to do, like get that workout in, like it's never too late. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like, you still have time in the world. You just gotta put in the work. Yeah.
You have years just because just because it's January 10th, you're like, I'll start next year.
Yeah,
No. Like, you can start right now.
Yeah,
and
start right now. Yeah,
you can get ahead of people that started on the 1st, because a lot of people by February, they just give up.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't matter, where you start. But no, it's good. It's good. And also another thing that helps, mental health.
Exactly.
How's your mental health? Like, do you have like mental health, like, I don't know, like for me, I've shared it with everyone. I have anxiety, sometimes depression. Do you deal with mental health, or do you believe in it? I know a lot of people, they don't believe in it.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
I feel like I do believe in it just because I experienced it a lot when I was in college.
Okay.
And I started feeling like the anxiety, depression, especially when there was exams.
Okay.
I was more of a person that like didn't like to fail. I hated like just doing things bad, or just like getting told that I didn't pass a test or something like that. Like that's when like I was like, I would literally like go to my room when no one was there and just kind of let it out, like lay my emotions out. And there was times where you want to be alone and you just kind of like just have like those thoughts and like, wow, like, like it sucks because you have these negative thoughts. You tell yourself like, oh, like I'm pretty dumb, like I'm not smart enough, and like obviously it's not healthy, but it's just something that like it's common that people go through. When I was going through that like mental health stuff, but I feel like I do believe in it just because like maybe people's situations could be different than mine. Maybe people could be having depression or like things that happen personally in their own lives. But I feel like you just gotta talk to somebody. Because for me, when I was going through that, like I didn't want to talk to nobody. Like at first, like it was something that I felt like I had to keep in between myself. And I reached out to my mom, and like we had a few cries together and this and that. Like it was kind of like what do you say? Like it was scary, obviously, but then I felt better because you had something to talk to, like share your problems with. And I feel like sharing with other friends too, like those who will actually like listen to you and like like talk to you about it, like what ways you can like overcome them. Because obviously like being in that situation, depression or like anxiety is not easy to do. It's like, especially like like for me, just exams, like the example, like I didn't want to come to school the next day, and like after like my next class after like I passed, like I failed that exam, like. But then again, it was just like failing that exam wasn't the end of the world. Like I still have a long like semester to go and finish strong, and as long as I just continue doing my homework and like turning stuff in that I gotta do in, like I can still pass the class. It's just one exam is not the end of the world. Like it's just something that like that kind of like, I guess you could say was like a wake up call. And just to be like, hey, like like it's not the end of the world. Like just get back to it. Like yeah. But I don't know if you felt like that too. Like
yeah, I mean. Like you said, anxiety or whatever mental health issues you have, it's all different. It's like for some people, it could be, you just want to be alone. For some other people, it's like, I need someone around me, right? For me, mine has always just been like panic attacks, anxiety, feeling like there's nowhere I can go. Like it feels like the walls are coming in and I have nowhere to go. And then that leads to depression, as in I'm never gonna be normal, right? Because everyone's like normal. But then what I've learned, basically I learned a lot. I studied a lot about it, because if you know about it, then okay, then it's just anxiety. It's just this, it's just that. And it makes it feel more normal. Like it makes it feel more like, okay, it's something I can get over. But like you said, something for me that I tend to do a lot is I just keep it to myself. I don't let anyone know what I'm going through. And when I talk about it, friends, family, girlfriend, whatever, they kind of give you the perspective of like, all right, everything's gonna be okay. And that's what, at the end of the day, you just have to know everything will be okay and everything will pass. Another analogy I like to say, so like in the ocean, the waves, it goes up, but then it comes down. And that's kind of how I would like I would give like what anxiety feels like. Like the wave goes up, you're like, oh my god, it's like it's crazy, but then everything calms down, and then eventually the ocean calms down. So that's how it feels.
Okay. No, I get what you mean.
And so what I like to do as well, what are things you do so you can help your mental health? Like what are things you like to do to have that clarity? I don't know, to not go into that state of mind.
Yeah. So obviously, like I know we talked about earlier, the gym. I feel like gym is a big one, just because you're working on yourself, but you also, if you don't realize, you're working on your health as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're working on like, your body, and you're thinking about like, just making yourself like feel good. And obviously, like when you have a good workout in, you feel good after it. Like you look at yourself, you're like, man, like I did what I got to do, and then all right, next day, continue, let's go. And also that is like just talking to your close friends, I guess you could say. I feel like we have a few close friends that we can reach out to anytime, any day, and just share about like our problems and stuff like that. Like it could be just getting with each other, getting some food, playing some soccer, or even just getting a workout session too.
Right.
Like I think that's also a big one too. Just as long as you're with, like how you said, as long as you're surrounded with people, the right people, and they just make you feel better. Like you don't have to feel like you don't have to feel like you have to become like subconscious about what you're gonna talk about them. Yeah, like you.
Yeah.
Like you
Like,
feel comfortable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree with that. Like I said, sometimes it's easy to fall into. Some people have different, and no judgment to anyone. I mean, if you're able to control, but like alcohol, some people go to alcohol, weed.
Yeah.
But for example, weed sometimes it helps out people with anxiety, or it calms them down. For me, I never did that. So, but no judgment. Yeah. But like alcohol for me was my thing. I would just drink.
Yeah.
It would escape my mind. Like I would escape my own mind, because sometimes it feels like you're a prisoner of your own mind.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like I said, we can go on and on about mental health, because it's a big topic right now. Yeah. Everyone goes through it, and like I said, everyone's is different. Mm-hmm. Some people don't know they have it, and that's why they act a certain way. Yeah. Now, so one thing I would say about you, obviously, we've hanged out here or there, but like you said, one thing is you always seem to be so positive, so always with a big smile. Yeah. Where does that come from?
Honestly, like I've gotten that question asked so many times, and I don't have the exact answer, but all I know is that like just the way I am, I feel like I just think about the good times or the good people that are like in my life, and like I just cherish those moments, and like I just feel like for me, like I always appreciate like the good things when I get good things happening for me, like I appreciate that, like, and I take that with me, and like for me it's just like every day I want to feel good, like like I want to be in that happy mode, like okay. I would get told like, hey bro, like are you high or this and that, like yeah. I'm like, bro, like no, just my character, like at first I felt like I was kind of weird, like like maybe I shouldn't be smiling too much or just be happy, but I feel like that's just my character, like I love being like that. It's just obviously like being in that positive like the positive mindset, mindset, yeah, like you want to go out there and just start off the day right, like, but then like I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I going through like real stuff, and like, but at the end of the day, like I still want to keep a smile on my face. Sometimes like when I'm smiling, I may not maybe be happy all the time, but I just want to be like show that like I'm just going through it, like I don't want to like express it too much, but most of the time, yeah, I'm happy. You see me, I'm smiling. Like a lot of people be like, man, you've been smiling for like since you were born. Cheeks don't hurt. Yeah. Nah, people be telling me like, man, were you born like that? Like when you came out of your mom, like did you smile already? Like, but like now I just really like just how I am. Like even to this day, like I'm happy all the time. Like I feel like till I die, you'll see me smiling.
Hey man,
like, yeah.
You gotta be like that. Some people don't feel that way, but the fact that you feel that way all the time, sometimes you may know someone's having a bad day, they see your smile, they're like, you know what, I shouldn't be too hard on myself, right? Yeah. So keep doing that. So what are your interests? Like, do you have, like, for me, you could see right here, right? Yeah. I got my Lego collections.
Okay, yeah.
I got into shoes too. what are things you're into? What are things you like doing? Do you play? I also play video games, as you can see.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm 30 years old, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a big kid.
No, yeah.
What are your things? Like, what do you like to do?
It
Obviously,
was-
sports is a good one.
Yeah,
you know?
you know what's crazy? We have the similar like interests, like Lego, shoes. Like you see, I got the Air Jordan 1. You see me?
Yeah.
So obviously, like any video games, like I mean, I still play like get a little Warzone game, FIFA, Fortnite, I guess you could say.
Right.
And just obviously just listen to music as well. Like
Okay.
just getting into like
What you listening to?
Mostly right now it's just basically R&B type.
Okay.
Like soul. Obviously a little rap in there here and there, but most of the time it's just like R&B. I like kind of like slow songs. Like just like start the day. For me, I can't really listen to rap all the time. Like I don't know. Like it's just something like it's just too much.
Okay.
But it's not bad. Like there's some good music. Like there's obviously like Drake.
So right now you open your phone, about to work out. What's the song you choose?
Yeah. Oh, to work out? Okay, that's different. Okay. That's obviously like, I have a playlist for it.
Okay.
Like so I have like, Drake, you got Lil Durk, you got like I don't know, you got like J. Cole, just like so
J.
it's
Cole.
just, so it's like you have a playlist and like I feel like whatever like the hit songs that they have, like if you put them in the shuffle, like no matter what plays on, it's like it's your go-to. Like like yeah.
And then you drive to work.
Yeah.
What you putting on?
I put on some R&B classics sometimes.
So like what?
So like I go some like 2000s R&B, like
That's classics, Dan. That's my childhood.
oh right. Yeah, for me it's just like I was like when I was growing up, like I listened
Like
to
what? Some like Neo or
like Neo, we got Chris Brown, we got like Justin Timberlake. I don't know, just I'm like songs that like yeah. Like right now, like I've been into a lot of Janae Aiko. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
But I just saw her like December 2nd last year.
Okay.
It was like when she was in Oakland. Yeah, so that was pretty amazing. Like that was someone that like I heard when I was in high school, like my freshman sophomore year, and like even like after this day, like I finally able to see her now, like last year, and it was just, like I'm talking about like what 2016, 2017, and like it's been a minute, yeah. So I mean, just listen to her music, like I can listen to her any day at a time. But yeah, like mostly just R&B. Like sometimes when I go to Instagram, I look at the reels and they always be like, oh, like top 10 R&B songs of the day, or just like or artists to look out to, just something like,
you cannot go wrong with R&B. I listen to that too.
Yeah.
What's weird for me is at the gym I'll be listening to it too. But I like 80s, 90s, 2000. Like I said, I grew up listening to 80s because my dad, that's what he likes. So I'm a big Michael Jackson. That's my guy.
Oh yeah.
That's why Geo Jackson.
Yeah.
Make the correlation. But yeah, man, music, I think it changes the way you feel. Like you can, a song can bring a memory, or it could just make you feel happy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can make you feel sad.
Yeah.
But I feel like music is very strong, and I feel, especially if like you work out, certain songs can just make you get that extra mile. That's what I think about music.
Yeah, exactly. I know, like right what you said, like yeah, it does make you feel happy, feel sad, and I just feel like the rhythm, or even just the lyrics that you listen to, maybe you could like relate to, or maybe you just like, oh, maybe I just like the way it sounds. Maybe the artist just did a good hook, or
the beats for me, because I like to listen to a lot of house stuff like that. But sometimes, I don't know if this happened to you. You listen to a song, right? You've been listening to a song for like a minute, but then you actually listen to the lyrics, and it like changes that song. Yeah, because you're like, damn, I never really paid attention to what it's saying. Yeah, and then you're like, whoa, like it's like a whole new. Yeah, but yeah, man, and R&B. So, how's you listen to a lot of R&B? So how's the love life?
Love life, man. I mean, it's, to be honest,
single, right?
Yeah, single. Okay. I'll probably say like it's been a minute since I've been to like a serious relationship. Like my last one will probably be like in high school. Damn. And obviously, like for me, it was a good thing and a bad thing, because obviously, like when I was in that, I wasn't really doing good. Like I wasn't even in like the soccer team. Like my GPA was like not even in the 2.0. It was like a 1.99. And obviously, like I hated myself for that. Like I remember when they put the list and the names of like the players who made it on the hallway. Yeah. You're like, damn, like let me see if I made it. And my name wasn't even up there. And like I obviously, Coach Larry, I asked him like, like why wasn't my name up there? Like they were like, oh, you did good on the trials. It was just like we looked at your grades and obviously you didn't read the requirement. And I was like, for me, I knew what it was. It was just kind of like getting distracted, like, not really focusing too much on the classes, more focusing on her, like, doing stuff with her and stuff like that. And for me, it was just like, damn, like I obviously like it's not that I didn't want to be with her. It was just kind of like for me, I had to figure out what's best for me and obviously like I want to play, like I want to set that standard, like being like having that good GPA and just like being like a good student. Like I don't want to be that student that is like just focusing on a girl and like that just makes myself look bad. And then like my parents are over here asking me like why is your grade so low?
Right. Yeah.
And then obviously it's just like I had to explain to them like, oh, like it's not. Yeah, it sucks.
Well,
Like,
it's not, if you like look deep down,
yeah,
it wasn't the girlfriend, it was you.
yeah,
You could have managed your time well.
Yeah.
Told her if she, obviously it's high school. Kids, they're, or our brains aren't developed, right?
Yeah.
If you tell her, hey, I want to focus, I want to be with you, but our school's first.
Yeah.
They take it like, oh, you don't like me anymore, and it's not like that.
yeah,
But as you get older now,
yeah.
because you hit me up on DM, you want to be on the show, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you said, hey, relationship advice.
Yeah.
So what's going on right now?
So right now, I mean,
Obviously, no names.
no. I would just say like, I mean, you talk to somebody, you meet them, in person, you get to see how they are, they get to see how I am. And, it starts from that, like for me, I feel like in-person conversations is the key. Like you get to meet somebody like physically, then just like texting them and like, or just online messaging.
Right.
And it's just like, obviously like I was very interested in that person. And like, it was obviously like, you have to go through that talking stage, right?
Right.
So obviously like getting to know them and like see how they really are. And obviously like for me, it's been a minute. Like it's been like what, like about 8 years since I haven't like really like sat down and like talked to somebody like that. So obviously like for me, it was just kind of like school. That's why I didn't really like talk to anyone, because I want to just make sure like when I was in college, I had everything like done right, pass all my classes,
Right.
just do the things I needed to do. But like obviously like now it's just like like talking to somebody and like for me it's like, all right, so like when you like somebody, like you don't always feel like they'll like you back, right? You always feel like, do they like me back? Do they have their eyes on somebody else? Or is it too late for me to even like that person, where it was like damn, like it's too late, like I should have just told you earlier, But for me it's like you have to really like talk to that person and like just communicate with them how you feel. And obviously like it's hard because you always have that thought like, damn, what if I get rejected, like what if I and I feel like it's common, that's why I feel like a lot of guys, they're in that situation where they tend to feel like that. Like don't get me wrong, I was like that too, but I had to learn like from somebody like, hey, like you just gotta like let them know how you feel, and like maybe they'll like you back, or maybe they'll tell you how they feel, like.
Yeah, I mean, what they always say, right? The worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, you're 25, right?
Yeah.
You're young.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you'll meet other people.
Yeah.
One thing, like, look, I'm not the best at giving advice.
Yeah.
It took me a long time too, like you. But what I would say, one thing, is just be yourself. Honestly, that's the most cliche thing. Be yourself, right? But you want someone that's gonna like you for you, right?
Yeah.
You could pretend to be flashy, whatever, but then as it goes, they could see like, oh, you know what? That's not authentic.
Yeah.
If you're authentic, if you're real, then the right person will be attracted to you, because you'll know, oh, they like me for me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes you got to be bold, though. Sometimes you got to be bold. You gotta go for it, because, like I said, as you get older, and some women, they like that. They like that you're bold. That you, because a lot of women, they're always gonna wait for you to make the move. Even though they like you.
No, exactly. Yeah, they are.
They're not gonna like be like upfront, like, hey, I like you. Like, you gotta work for it. They want you to work for it. They want you, to do the cute things, because you know, they're the woman.
Yeah.
That's how, you know, that's how it is,
Yeah.
right? But I guess, so how did it end up? So you met this girl.
Yeah.
What happened?
So obviously, like, it didn't work out. Like, you know, she had her own personal things. But
Right.
also for me, it was just like, you know, like I also have to like be honest with myself and just be like, you know, like I have my school like loans to pay off and then my car too. Because obviously, like, I'm still paying those two things off.
Yeah.
And it's just obviously like, you know, like it's in the point where you want to like start something serious, but then you got to think back like, wait, hold on, like, am I really ready for this? Like I have to like figure out like what's really important to me to figure out. Like obviously, like, you know, it sucks because, you know, like you want things to work out, but then you got to think of like the reality, like, well, like what I got to actually like do like in my life and like make sure things are straight and this and that. Like, but you know, I guess the best thing that could after that, like, I think the best thing you could do is don't change or just don't ignore that person. Like, if you ended in good terms, I feel like, you know, I think you can still be friends. Like, why not? Yeah, like,
And then who knows, right?
yeah, who knows exactly? Like, right? I think like the worst thing you could do is just ghost, exactly, ghost, and like just like talk smack about her, like, you know, because at the end of the day, like, this person have done good things to you, maybe, and like, you know, you gotta reflect on that, like, you know, maybe just because it didn't work, that doesn't mean like we're enemies. You know, we're
Right.
like, yeah, like we're not like bad.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
happens, hey man. It happens, like things don't go how you want it to,
Yeah.
and you get, like you said, you get you know, like petty, upset.
Yeah.
But if you're watching, he's still here. But I'm sure everything's good. And like I said, just do you
Yeah.
are you like on the dating apps or not?
Nah.
You don't, like you say, you like more in
more
person, right?
Yeah, more like in person. Like, if it happens, I meet somebody, then, you know, we'll go from there. But right now, just obviously, like, I feel like for me right now, it's like, I think it's just stick to the work, stick to just like how I said, stick to that goal and like getting that self credential, and just obviously like my car and the loans, just get that out the way.
It'll come. It comes unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Something, like I said, moms, they give the best advice. They're like, when you least look, when you're not looking for it, it'll show up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure, like I said, if you're just yourself. For me, I met my girlfriend through apps.
Oh, okay.
During COVID, Bumble.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And we met, hit it off. And then we're here 2 years. 2 years. It's going to be 3 years this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're like, oh, 2 years. Hold up.
It's just, like I said, time goes, and you're like, damn, it's been, two years.
Yeah.
You know, this year will be 3.
That's good.
So,
Yeah.
but, you know, as long as they're, the important thing is if they could be a friend too, not just a partner.
Yeah.
It makes a great communication, obviously.
Exactly.
That's the important one.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes as the man, you got to put your foot forward to show them who's the boss.
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel like, like you said, the best thing you do is be your friend, because obviously, like, the person I was talking to, she was really good at communicating and just her honesty, and, you know, obviously, like, I really appreciate that, because obviously, like, it's just, like, the way they are, too, like, you kind of see, you know, like, that's why you like this person, because the way they are. You're not just gonna like somebody because of their looks. Obviously, like, it's way more than that, you know.
It is way more.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah, but
there's way more. But I mean, we're humans too, right?
Yeah.
We want to see whatever, you know, you're attracted to.
Yeah,
you're attracted, but that's not everything.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not everything. Yeah, that's just some of it. Yeah.
Right.
But there's
That's
way
a-
more to it. Yeah.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
Well, Jaime, we've been here. How I know you were a little bit nervous at the beginning. We had to do a retake,
Yeah, I
but
know, yeah.
how you feeling right now?
I feel good. I mean, it was just kind of like us talking. Like, I didn't, like, obviously there's no one around us to see, but I feel like just a normal conversation.
Right.
Like,
what you got going on? You what's your IG? You want to share it with the people, or?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Jaime CJ_. It used to be Jaime. Those who know, like, I had that name since I was in high school. Like, anybody that, like, still today, they call me that Jaime. And it was just like a big nickname. I remember, like, going through the hallways, Jaime, was good. Like, I was like, oh, damn. Like, I didn't know that was gonna happen. You know, like, changing the name like that. But hey, as long as the people like it, and I don't have a problem with it.
Last question. Niners, do we win it? Super Bowl.
I want us to win. Obviously, you see,
Yeah,
Fred
you
Warner.
got the Fred Warner. You get your shirt.
I got this at Game Changer in LA. I ordered from there,
Oh,
And
okay.
it's funny because I was at there when I was in New Year's,
Okay.
and like where I was staying at, my cousins, like they live there like about like 15 minutes away. I
Mhm.
wanted to check it out, but obviously like we didn't have that much time because we already had things planned on.
No.
But
So is it like one of those like famous stores?
yeah, one of those
Okay.
famous stores. Yeah, like they have like a lot of like graphic tees and like
Got it.
players and stuff.
Right.
And like when I saw Fred Warner, I was like, I have to get it, bro. Like it's
That's your guy.
that's
Fred
the
Warner?
guy. I feel like he's the engine of the defense. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I feel like when you see 54 lined up, it's just like, you know, he's the capitan.
Right.
So, you know, he sets everything up. Like I feel like once you hear him, like, you know, give him his, because every game, like before he gives a speech, right, to everybody,
Right.
and it's like it hypes you up, right? It's kind of like it seems like you're playing with them.
Yeah,
like,
it gets
yeah,
you. It gets you pumped, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. So obviously, like, you know, Fred Warner is like him making Pro Bowls. Like I don't know how many Pro Bowls he made. Like he made it like.
Well, his nickname's All Pro Fred.
Right. So.
So he's your favorite player?
I feel like he's my favorite player for now, just because he's been there for a while.
All time?
All time? Man, I would probably say Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice?
Yeah.
Out of respect?
Yeah, respect, yeah.
I would say for me, Patrick Willis. That's my guy.
Okay.
Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
Obviously, you would respect Jerry.
Yeah.
Steve Young.
Mm-hmm.
I would choose that as my
Yeah.
quarterback, but hopefully they do it this year, man.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you guys tune into the famous weekly sports show.
Yeah.
You hear my takes there.
Yeah.
But Jaime, I appreciate you coming, taking the time, coming to the studio.
Yeah. Yeah.
But any last things you got to say to the people?
I kind of want to go back onto that Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah. So obviously, like we have the bye week, first round, number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I personally want to match up with the Ravens because I want
Super Bowl?
that. Yeah, Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah. One, just because it's a rematch from 2012, and
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you saw that.
I saw that, yeah.
And you know, it was kind of like a crush moment because obviously, like, if they would have won it, who knows? We would have had a parade in the Bay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't had in your lifetime.
Yeah.
You've never seen them win it.
Yeah.
The last time they won it, I was a year old. So you could say that
Yeah.
I've never seen them win. I've
Yeah.
seen them lose twice.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, exactly. When they played the KC.
That one was
That one,
heartbreaking.
yeah.
But obviously, every Niners fans right now, they're confident.
Yeah.
We all have this good feeling
Yeah.
because this team, top to bottom, offense, defense, probably the best
Yeah.
since the '94 team when they won it.
Yeah.
But they just have to take care of business.
Yeah. Like,
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like this team, the Niners, they're playoff contenders every year. Like I tell my friends and like, hey, like no matter if you're a Niners fan or not, like you gotta like take off your hat and be like, hey, this team like makes it to the playoffs every time.
Right.
And I feel like they have the players. It's just they just gotta handle it. You know, handle business and you know.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners is Super Bowl or bust. Like, I don't want NFC Championship. I don't want playoff berths.
Yeah.
I want the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because as you know, there's a lot of envious fans out there.
Yeah.
Seahawks fans,
Yeah.
Raiders fans,
Yeah.
whatever fans, right? They always hate on us,
Yeah.
and I think it's time. It's time for us.
Yeah, I think
It's
it
time
is.
for us.
Yeah.
And like, it's 2 games to get there. They just have to win both games at home, which is at home.
Yeah. And we go to Vegas for a Super Bowl.
I'll be there. NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you going for sure?
yeah, well, I have season tickets.
Oh, okay.
So the divisional, I'm not sure if I'm going. I might sell it,
Yeah.
but definitely, if they make it, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I'm that confident.
Yeah.
I'll be in the NFC Championship. Yeah.
Let me know if you sell it. I might see you.
But again, thank you,
Yeah.
Jaime. Everyone, obviously, like this episode, leave a comment,
Yeah.
share it, subscribe if you haven't. I saw today we're at 63 subscribers. You know, getting close to that 1 million.
Hey, it'll go there. Trust.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
But leave a comment, whatever you guys thought about this episode. And like I said, thank you, Jaime, for coming.
No, thank you for having me again, Gio. Like obviously, this is the first time I've done this like with you. So you know, for me, just let me have you in the episode. I appreciate it. So.
No problem. All right,
Yes, bro.
sign that. All right, bro.
I like you, baby.
Peace. All right, people. Later.
Hey.